But
you fill in the blanks with your butt. Look at your neighbor and say, I see myself in the future. Come on, tell him I see myself in the future. Talk to him. I see myself in the future and I like what I see. Yeah, I see myself in the future. And indeed, I do, in fact, like what I see. Here we are. You may have your seats. We're going to hit this word and move this train along today. Here we are in this 30th book of Samuel. Amen. The prophet Samuel. Amen. In this 30th chapter here that we want to talk a little bit about today. Samuel. Who was Samuel? Samuel was the son of Hannah. You know who Hannah was. Hannah was the one who was the sister to Peninnah. She was barren. She had no kids. She couldn't have kids. She was married to Eli the priest. They would go up into the mountain every year. Amen. And every time they would go up into the mountains, Peninnah would get the double portion of all that was had because she had the sons. She had the children. Hannah didn't have any. So Hannah got to the place that she just cried as unto the Lord because she wanted to bear seed. She wanted to have children. She wanted to have some of those. Here she is. This is her husband and he can bless everybody else. But yet she feels like she's being overlooked. She feels like she's being misled in all of this. So she wanted to have children of her own. So she began to inquire. She began to pray as unto the Lord. And the Lord blessed her with the seed. His name was Samuel. His name means that I have believed from the Lord. That's what Samuel names mean. So here, Samuel grew to be a great man of God. He grew to be a great prophet. He grew to be a great king. Here we are talking about this Samuel. Understand, Samuel had some issues. Samuel had some challenges. Samuel had some stuff like all of us. I don't care how anointed we are. All of us have some stuff. Amen. 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 Don't think because you're anointed, you ain't got no stuff. Don't think because you're anointed, you ain't got nothing going on. Don't think because you're anointed and you got a church full of folk and everybody's running to your personality because you can preach and hoop real good. Don't think because you're anointed that you ain't got no stuff because all of us got some stuff going on. The problem is you do your stuff in the dark.
God.
Amen. Well, you don't think nobody can see you. You do your stuff where you don't think nobody gonna know. You do your stuff where you think nobody gonna catch you. But Medea says in one of her movies, what's done in the dark, it's gonna come to the light. And all I gotta do is hold my peace, stand my ground. God's gonna do it. God's gonna turn it around. So here, this Samuel he had some issues here. So we talk today from this pericope, from this motif of scripture concerning this great man of God, Samuel. Here we are in the 30th chapter of Samuel with David. Amen. In the city of Ziklag. Prior to the story beginning in chapter 30 to chapter 29 talks about how David was with the king. Amen. Because David deceived the king. Amen. Y'all ain't got to hear what I'm saying because David deceived the king. David said that he wanted a place, he desired a place of privacy where he could take his people back because of the wording that David used with King Achish in chapter 29. He didn't have to go to the battle, if you will, to fight. They released him so that he could go back to where he was. Go back and read chapter 29. There was some dialogue that was going on between David and the king, and the people that were there said, no, we don't want you to be here. We don't want you here. You know, all of this stuff. So he don't need to go down to the battle when we come down to the battle. So when the king started to talk to David, when they began to have dialogue, the king sent David back to where he was. David had just come back after 3 days. Chapter 30 starts. When David had been 3 days traveling back from where he was to where he was tired. The men that were with him were tired. When they got back to the place that they were, they found that their space had been invaded. Ziklag, the city that was given to David because he prayed and asked for it from the king in chapter 29, gave him the city. When he got back to the city, his sons, his daughters, his wives, everybody was going to understand the enemy ain't got to come try to sneak you.
Say that.
If he was in place, I submit to you that the enemy probably wouldn't have easily been able to get their things or to take their people. But because they were somewhere else, when the enemy decided to come, understand that the devil is a coward. And this is why I don't understand why we give him so much power, because he's nothing but a coward. He's a little punk. But yet we give him all of this travel. We give him all of this control. We give him all of this instead of him being under our feet. He's governing and ruling our lives. The devil is a liar. So here, Samuel, when this chapter here starts, they come back to Ziklag. Ziklag had been burned with fire because the enemy had came into their camp and had taken what belonged to them and had scattered and gone somewhere else. When David got back, I'm going to tell the story and drop 3 points like the Baptist folk, and we're going to be out of here. Came back here when David got back and the city had been burned. The folk then was upset with him. And it said here that the folk wanted to stone him because they were upset. Being a leader and leading folk ain't easy, first of all. So if you're going to be a leader in this hour, in this season, in this time, it's not easy to lead folk because folk come with And if you don't stroke the people a certain kind of way, folk will leave you